Every year it gets harder to crack the YouTube algorithm. And having ran 3 YouTube channels, I know the struggles it takes to get that first one, that second, that third subscriber, to get the 500 mark where you can then monetize, and then to get to 1,000. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of pain, and you can say goodbye to sometimes up to 3 to 5 years. But I also know that from my experience, most of the advice out there on YouTube isn't right. So if you're looking on YouTube and the videos are a few years old, you're probably being left behind because you're taking wrong advice. So later on in this video, I'm going to reveal the very most common thing everyone's still doing, and I guarantee you're probably doing it. So I'll reveal what that is and how you can correct it as well. Oh, and by the way, it's not using tags or subs for subs. It's not keyword stuffing in your description or your title. It's not adding an introduction video to your logo in the first 20 seconds, and it's not asking for a subscription straight away, though all those things are outdated fluff. So let's embrace what really works now, this year. And these tips are relevant whether you're a beginner or an absolute expert on YouTube. So let's just take for beginners. How do you start off with a channel? Well, you need to have the right mindset before you even start YouTube whatsoever. So just bear in mind, it can take 3 to 5 years to be really successful on YouTube. And those first few years are hard work because you won't see the return for the effort immediately. So if you can't get that type of mindset to start with, then maybe YouTube isn't for you. But if you're determined and you're prepared to work and improve, then you can make it a great success. And the first thing to do really is to pick a niche of something that you're particularly interested in, that you know something about. Something you're prepared to talk about for maybe 2 or 3 years. And then once you've got that niche, then just think about what you know about it. You won't be an immediate expert, but one of the things I do is think about what is it you watch on YouTube. So if you've got a particular hobby for a video game, or you particularly like dog walking, or you've got an interest in some type of business, then why not then start talking about that and begin to build a following. And the next thing then is to think in terms of branding it. So what will your type of audience be? So you might think to yourself, if it's for YouTube, then would having a logo that would appeal to YouTubers make sense? Think of the color scheme you'd use, because you ideally want to build a brand that's going to appeal to the right audience. So what is their pains? What are they concerned about? And then mention that you're trying to solve their concerns. So in my case, this channel's YouTube strategy. And I know quite a lot of strategies I've used, and I thought, well, why not share that with people? Are people looking for YouTube strategies? Yes, they are. So this is my niche, and that's why I'm growing this channel. And then once you start to build a following, you'll get to know whether your audience are young or old, whether they prefer shorts to long form. And once you start to know what they respond to, then that's really the way you need to develop that niche. So now, whether you're a beginner or an expert, the next stage is really important because it's all about building a packaging. So you need to look at the analytics. As you start to see gradually people coming through, the analytics reveal where they're from, what countries they're from, what their age group is, whether they're male or female, and already you'll begin to now get an idea of who it is that's actually tuning into your channel. So then, depending on who it is, you would then package it in a way that would appeal to their age group or their particular background. And so you're trying to connect with them. So you now need to think the package is not just about the title of the video, but it's also about the thumbnail as well. And so the thumbnail and the title work together. Now, several of my videos have covered how the thumbnail and the title work together. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, then hopefully you've already got enough value to do so at this point. Now, most beginners then get this order all wrong for the next bit that we're going to cover. So this is a really important part of the video. So the key thing here is to remember that once you've got the packaging, then you can start scripting the video. That's the order you need to follow. And as you start scripting the video, you then need to put in some hooks to get people so that they want to stay on the video and it engages them. And also you then need to start telling a story so that people have a reason to stick and listen to what you're about to say. And there are 2 methods of storytelling. Actually, I've got 3 methods, so I'm going to reveal those in a moment. But first of all, we need to understand hooks. So what are hooks when you're writing a script? Well, I've already created a hook earlier in the video that you probably still remember. I said right at the beginning of this video that I was going to reveal to you the most common mistake most people make when they make YouTube videos. And it's an easy mistake to make. So that was a hook back at the beginning of this video. So at this stage, it's only fair to pay off that hook. So what is it? Well, most people will go into a video, they'll set their camera up, and then off they'll go. They'll just give a video to the camera and then they'll then edit it afterwards. And then they decide on things like the title for it and the thumbnail. The order is absolutely the wrong way round. So the key to having successful videos is deciding on what title and thumbnail is going to appeal to your audience first, get the ideas, then start scripting it, then work out the hooks, then start telling a story, then pay off the hooks, and then film the video doing those things, and then edit it. And then you'll find the package comes together where now the audience is much more engaged because it understands what you're doing, and also it gets the payoff to what the thumbnail and the title suggested the video would be about. So another hook I mentioned a moment ago was storytelling, that there were 3 ways. So what are the 3 ways that you can tell stories within the script and then when you video? Well, the first one is known as the hero's journey. And this is where, as storytelling goes, there's a hero and he's on a journey and he comes from an ordinary life to an extraordinary adventure. He faces challenges along the way, maybe meets some enemies along the way too, but ultimately he's going to be transformed along the way. And viewers can connect with the hero's struggles and the triumphs and the ups and downs because in effect it engages you because you can relate to it in everyday life. And so by using the hero's journey, you'll extend the growth and you'll extend the interest of your video. The second one is just a how-to guide. And sometimes if you mention there's like 7 tips, that can keep people engaged too. But it is a story because people's wanting to know, well, what's the next tip? What's the next tip? And how does the next one solve a certain problem? So storytelling in effect can be done through just actionable steps, a step-by-step guide. Knowing that you're going to achieve something at the end of the several steps is a great way, in effect, telling a story. And the third area is just personal experiences, things that people can relate to, things that show emotion. So telling a story about how you started off 3 to 5 years of trying to do YouTube and it didn't work, and then you learnt these things along the way. That's telling someone a life experience that people can relate to. And you're just trying to resonate with your audience and you want their empathy and your empathy to relate with each other's. And there's one final thing to do before you then finish the video, is to plan how you're going to have a call to action at the end. So often it's referred to the CTA, call to action. But this is the most important part of the video for those that have made it to the end, because this is what really gets the algorithm thinking. Because if then a person that's watching a video then goes to your next video, this gives them a great message back to the algorithm to say that this person, whether they've subbed or not, is providing value to its audience. And so the time people spend on the video, the amount of videos they watch thereafter is going to improve the algorithm's view of your videos and your channel. So how can you do that? Well, the simple answer is to never conclude your videos, but to always want someone to then move on to the next video that's going to answer a particular question. And the question I've got for you is, how do you get more views and interaction with your audience? Well, I've got the video here that's going to show you exactly what to do. There's my call to action. I'll see you on that video.